Have you ever found yourself saying, "I'm just trying to find balance in my life," as if it's some kind of magic solution to all your problems? You tell yourself that if only everything were balanced, work, family, health, passion, then and only then would you truly succeed. But pause for a moment. Is this search for balance actually helping you move forward, or is it quietly holding you back? What if balance is not the key to success, but rather the very excuse that keeps you stuck? Balance sounds comforting. It promises peace, stability, and control. We've been taught to seek it, like it's a perfect state of life where every part fits neatly in place. But here's the truth that shakes the foundation of that idea. Real achievement, real growth, and true success rarely come from balance. Instead, they come from intense focus, deep commitment, and sometimes complete imbalance. Balance, in many cases, is the shield used by those who hesitate, who fear stepping fully into their potential. Imagine this: a man who dreams big but won't risk discomfort. He waits for the perfect moment, the perfect balanced day when everything feels just right. But that moment never arrives, because life itself is unpredictable, messy, and often unfair. To wait for balance is to wait forever. It's an excuse disguised as wisdom. This video will challenge everything you've been told about balance. It will reveal the harsh, empowering truth that only the committed move mountains. If you stay with me till the end, you'll uncover why embracing imbalance might just be the most courageous step you ever take, and how doing so can unlock a level of success you've only dreamed of. You'll learn how to break free from the chains of comfort and finally step into your full power. Balance is popular because it feels safe. It doesn't ask you to give up much. It lets you keep one foot firmly planted in your comfort zone. But comfort zones are cages. They hold you back from what you truly want. When you commit to a goal, when you decide to pour your heart and soul into something bigger than yourself, you naturally give less time and energy to other things. This is not failure or flaw. It is the very nature of commitment. Behind the desire for balance often lies fear. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of losing what little security you have. The mind, wired to protect you, invents reasons to avoid risk. Balance becomes the perfect excuse to do just enough, but never enough to truly change your life. It's a way to stay stuck without feeling guilty. But what if you saw balance as the enemy of progress? What if instead of seeking comfort and evenness, you embraced the tension, the chaos, and the hard choices that come with chasing a dream? What if you realized that imbalance is a sign that you are pushing boundaries, growing, and moving forward? This shift in thinking is crucial. Psychology shows that our brains are wired to avoid pain and discomfort, which makes balance so appealing. But growth, real change, happens outside of comfort zones. It happens in moments when you feel overwhelmed, when your priorities compete, and when you choose to commit despite uncertainty. So stop waiting for the perfect balance. Stop telling yourself that one day, when everything is just right, you'll start. That day may never come. Instead, start now with imperfect, unbalanced action, because imbalance means you're alive, you're stretching, and you're committed. Stay with this video because you will discover the secret that separates those who dream from those who achieve. You will learn how to identify when balance is just an excuse holding you back. And most importantly, you will find the motivation to commit fully with passion and purpose regardless of the chaos that may come. Remember, the greatest success stories are not about balance. They are about burning desire, fierce commitment, and relentless action. If you can embrace this, you can change everything. So, are you ready to leave the excuse of balance behind and step into your true power? Keep watching. The truth you're about to hear might just transform your life. Balance sounds like the ideal state where every part of life fits perfectly together and nothing feels out of place. But what does balance really mean? It's often described as equal attention given to work, family, health, and personal passions. At first glance, this sounds wise and reasonable. After all, no one wants to burn out or neglect what matters most. But here's the catch. This idea of balance is mostly a myth. It's a comforting story we tell ourselves to avoid facing the demands of real commitment. True balance, where every area of life receives equal care at the same time, is nearly impossible. Life doesn't work like that. Some seasons demand more from your career, others pull you toward family or personal growth. To expect perfect harmony all the time is setting yourself up for frustration and disappointment. It's like trying to walk on a tightrope perfectly still when the wind is constantly pushing you. In reality, success is not about keeping everything evenly balanced. It's about knowing when to give your all to one thing, even if it means other parts of your life temporarily suffer. This is where most people hesitate. They fear the guilt or discomfort of being unbalanced, so they cling to the idea of balance as a way to justify staying safe, staying small. But growth demands sacrifice. It requires making choices that tip the scales, sometimes heavily, in favor of your goals. This is not selfishness, it's focus. It's the willingness to pour your energy into what matters most, even if it means other areas get less attention for a while. This kind of imbalance is not failure, it's the fuel of progress. When you understand this, you stop wasting time searching for a perfect balance that doesn't exist. Instead, you start directing your energy with intention. You accept that imbalance is part of the process, a necessary step on the path to greatness. This shift frees you from the guilt of not being balanced and empowers you to commit fully to what will move your life forward. Many people confuse balance with fairness, thinking they owe equal time and energy to every part of their life. But fairness isn't the goal. The goal is meaningful progress. Imagine planting a tree. You don't water every branch equally every day. Instead, you focus on the roots first, nurturing what will support the whole tree. Success works the same way. The problem is, when you try to divide yourself evenly, you spread your energy too thin. You become average at many things, but exceptional at none. Real commitment means going deep, not wide. It means choosing one path and giving it everything you've got, even if other areas fall behind temporarily. This doesn't mean you ignore important parts of your life forever. It means you prioritize. You make conscious decisions about where to invest your time based on your highest goals. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it may feel unbalanced to others. But that discomfort is the price of progress. Psychology teaches us that the brain resists discomfort because it's wired to seek safety. So when you push yourself to commit fully, your mind fights back with excuses like, I need balance, or I don't want to burn out. These are not signs to stop. They are signs you're on the right path. Discomfort means growth. The secret is to embrace that discomfort, knowing it's temporary and necessary. Real commitment is messy and imperfect. It requires courage to say no to distractions and yes to focused effort. The uncommitted use balance as a shield to protect themselves from this challenge. But those who dare to commit fully, even at the cost of balance, unlock a power few ever experience. They move faster, learn deeper, and achieve more. This willingness to embrace imbalance is what separates dreamers from doers, and ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. When you truly commit, you accept that life will not be perfectly balanced. You understand that some days your work will demand all your attention. Other days your family or health may require you to step back. This is not a sign of failure. It's the natural rhythm of progress. Commitment means giving your best effort to what matters most in the moment, without guilt or hesitation. Many fail because they try to do everything equally and end up doing nothing well. They spend so much time trying to balance that they lose focus. Without focus, energy dissipates. Without energy, dreams fade. Success demands something different, a bold decision to prioritize deeply and act relentlessly. The real question is, what are you willing to sacrifice for your goals? Are you ready to face discomfort and imbalance as signs you are growing? Or will you keep using balance as a safe excuse to delay action? Every great achievement in history came from someone willing to be unbalanced, to pour everything into their mission. This is the hard truth. Balance often means playing small. It means settling for less than you deserve. But commitment means pushing past fear, embracing chaos, and charging forward despite uncertainty. It means choosing purpose over comfort, passion over ease. If you can accept this truth, you step into a new mindset. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating your own path. You trade excuses for action, hesitation for courage, and comfort for growth. This is where transformation begins. So, don't wait for balance. Don't let it hold you back. Instead, choose commitment. Choose the challenge. Choose the imbalance that leads to greatness. This is the mindset that will change your life forever. Most people underestimate the power of commitment because they misunderstand what it truly demands. They think commitment means having everything perfectly organized or balanced. But real commitment is messy, raw, and often uncomfortable. It means choosing your goal, accepting that you might lose sleep, miss social events, or feel overwhelmed. It means putting in the hard work even when the rest of your life feels off-kilter. When you commit fully, you're not just making a plan, you're making a promise to yourself. A promise to keep going no matter how chaotic things get. This promise is stronger than any excuse. It's what fuels resilience, persistence, and the kind of focus that drives success. Psychologically, this deep commitment rewires your brain. It replaces hesitation with action. It builds confidence through consistent effort. Every small step you take, even when things aren't balanced, strengthens your willpower. Over time, that strength compounds. You begin to see progress, feel momentum, and realize that imbalance was never your enemy, it was your ally. The uncommitted cling to balance because it feels safe. But safety is the enemy of growth. Growth lives in discomfort and imbalance. To grow, you must be willing to break the mold, upset the status quo, and challenge your own limits. Remember, no great leader, artist, or innovator ever waited for balance before pursuing their dreams. They embraced the chaos, made sacrifices, and stayed committed through the ups and downs. That's why their stories inspire us. They teach us that commitment, not balance, is the true path to success. If you want to create a life of impact and fulfillment, you must do the same. Embrace the imbalance. Commit fully. Because the moment you choose commitment over comfort, you unlock a power inside you that can overcome any obstacle. When you commit deeply, you stop seeking approval from others or worrying about fitting into their expectations of balance. Instead, you focus on your own vision, your own purpose. This shift is powerful because it frees you from distractions and self-doubt. It allows you to move forward with clarity and confidence. The mind naturally resists this kind of change because it prefers predictability. But every breakthrough in life happens outside of predictability. When you step into imbalance, you're stepping into new territory. It's uncomfortable, uncertain, and sometimes lonely. But it's also where transformation happens. Think about the people you admire most. What they all have in common is that they made commitment their priority, not balance. They accepted that life would get messy and unbalanced, but they kept pushing forward anyway. They understood that discomfort was a sign they were growing, not failing. This mindset takes courage. It requires you to say no to distractions and yes to what matters most. It means accepting short-term discomfort for long-term gain. And it means trusting yourself to handle the chaos because you know your goal is bigger than any temporary struggle. You don't have to wait for balance to start living your purpose. Balance is not a prerequisite, it's often a trap. Real progress requires imbalance, focus, and the willingness to sacrifice comfort. When you commit fully, even in the face of uncertainty, you tap into your true potential. This is the moment to let go of excuses and step into commitment. The journey may be challenging, but the reward is a life of meaning, achievement, and growth unlike anything balance can offer. Commitment means choosing your path with conviction, even when it feels like the rest of the world is out of sync with you. It means waking up every day ready to face the imbalance, the struggles, and the sacrifices, because you believe in something greater than temporary comfort. This belief becomes your fuel. You will face doubts, your own and from others. People may question why you don't balance your time better or why you aren't following the safe, comfortable route. But their doubts are a reflection of their own fears, not your limits. When you commit, you rise above the noise and keep your eyes fixed on the prize. Every step forward will test your resolve. There will be moments when imbalance feels overwhelming, when you wonder if it's worth it. But remember this, the discomfort you feel is proof that you're growing. Like muscles strengthening through strain, your mind and spirit become more powerful as you push through the uneasy times. This is why balance often becomes the excuse of the uncommitted. It sounds reasonable and responsible, but it's really a way to avoid discomfort and risk. True commitment is messy, it's chaotic, it's imperfect. But it's also where your dreams become real. So embrace the imbalance. Accept that success will not come wrapped in neat packages of equal time and effort. Instead, it will come through relentless focus, deep sacrifice, and unwavering belief in your vision. The difference between those who live small and those who live large is commitment. The difference between a life of regret and a life of purpose is choosing to move forward, even when balance feels impossible. When you commit fully, you are unstoppable. When you fully embrace commitment, you begin to see imbalance not as a problem, but as a necessary part of growth. Life itself isn't perfectly balanced. Seasons change, priorities shift, and challenges arise. Success is about adapting to these shifts, not trying to control or equalize them all at once. Commitment teaches you to focus intensely on what matters most, even if it means other areas of your life must wait. This focused intensity creates momentum that carries you forward, even when obstacles appear or when life feels chaotic. It turns effort into results. Psychologically, this is powerful. When your mind is clear about your priorities, it stops wasting energy on guilt or distractions. Instead, it channels all its strength toward the goal. This laser focus is what creates breakthroughs. It's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Balance, on the other hand, often leads to frustration. Trying to split your attention evenly makes you mediocre at everything. It dilutes your power. The truth is, greatness requires imbalance. It demands that you say no to distractions, no to comfort, and yes to challenge and growth. So stop fearing imbalance. Stop hiding behind the excuse of balance. Instead, lean into commitment. Understand that imbalance is a sign you're alive, pushing boundaries and transforming yourself. By choosing commitment over comfort, you take control of your life. You stop drifting and start steering. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating them. This shift is the key to unlocking your highest potential. Remember, the most successful people didn't find balance. They found purpose. They found passion. And they committed fiercely and without apology, even when it made their lives feel unbalanced. That's the mindset that will move you forward. Commitment demands a different kind of courage. The courage to accept that life won't always feel fair or comfortable. It asks you to face uncertainty head-on, knowing that every step forward might come with sacrifice. This courage is what separates those who merely wish for success from those who earn it. When you commit deeply, you begin to understand that imbalance is temporary. It's a phase of intense focus and effort that lays the foundation for lasting achievement. You may miss out on some pleasures or comforts in the short term, but you gain something far greater: progress, growth, and a future shaped by your own hands. This understanding shifts your mindset. You stop being controlled by fear of losing balance or falling behind. Instead, you embrace the idea that pushing through discomfort is part of the journey. You realize that imbalance is not a sign of weakness, but a mark of strength and dedication. Psychology shows that embracing challenges strengthens your brain's ability to adapt and overcome. Every time you choose commitment over comfort, you build resilience. You train your mind to stay focused and motivated, even when the path is difficult. This resilience becomes your greatest asset. It helps you keep moving forward when others quit. It keeps you going when balance feels impossible. It turns obstacles into opportunities. So don't wait for the perfect balance before you commit. That moment may never come. Instead, choose commitment now. Choose the discomfort, the sacrifices, and the imbalance, knowing that they are the stepping stones to your success. The path won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Because the power to change your life lies not in balance, but in your willingness to commit fully, without hesitation or excuse. Understanding that commitment often requires imbalance means you start to see sacrifice as an investment, not a loss. Every hour you dedicate to your goals, even if it means less time for relaxation or social life, is a deposit into your future success. This mindset changes how you experience challenges. Instead of feeling drained or guilty, you feel purposeful and driven. The truth is, those who achieve greatness don't wait for everything to be perfect or balanced. They don't hesitate because life feels unfair. They act despite the chaos. They make peace with discomfort and uncertainty, knowing these are signs they're moving in the right direction. This willingness to lean into imbalance creates momentum. Momentum that pushes you past doubt and fear. Momentum that makes the impossible possible. Balance feels safe, but it often leads to stagnation. Commitment feels risky, but it leads to growth. And growth is what you need if you want to break free from the ordinary and live a life of meaning and achievement. So when you feel the pull to balance your life, pause and ask yourself, is this a genuine need, or is it an excuse to avoid discomfort? Are you protecting your comfort zone, or are you ready to step outside it? The moment you choose commitment over comfort, you step onto a path that challenges you but also transforms you. It's the path of those who refuse to settle, who chase their dreams relentlessly, and who understand that imbalance is simply the price of progress. Embrace that price, because it's not a cost, it's a doorway to everything you want. When you shift your mindset from seeking balance to embracing commitment, you unlock a powerful force within yourself. You stop waiting for the right time or perfect conditions because you understand that those moments rarely exist. Instead, you create your own momentum by diving in fully, even if it means the scales tip heavily in one direction. This willingness to accept imbalance shows strength, not weakness. It signals that you value your dreams more than temporary comfort. It means you are ready to make sacrifices today for a better tomorrow. This is the mindset of every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary. Psychology teaches that when we focus deeply on one goal, our brain releases chemicals that boost motivation and satisfaction. This natural reward system keeps us pushing forward. But when we spread ourselves too thin, trying to keep everything balanced, we dilute that focus and drain our energy. We lose the drive that fuels real progress. So, by choosing commitment over balance, you tap into your brain's natural wiring for success. You align your actions with your deepest desires, creating a feedback loop that propels you forward. The discomfort of imbalance becomes fuel, not a barrier. Remember, balance may feel like the safe choice, but it often masks hesitation. Commitment requires courage, the courage to risk, to fail, and to keep going despite setbacks. It's this courage that transforms dreams into reality. If you want to rise above mediocrity, you must be willing to embrace imbalance. Because the most fulfilling and impactful lives are not built on equal distribution of time and energy, but on focused, passionate commitment to what matters most. Commitment transforms the way you see obstacles. Instead of viewing them as reasons to stop or seek balance, you see them as challenges to overcome. This mindset shift is crucial because it changes your entire approach to growth. You move from avoidance to action. When balance is your excuse, setbacks feel like failure. You get discouraged, lose motivation, and drift away from your goals. But when commitment drives you, setbacks become lessons. Each challenge is a stepping stone, a chance to grow stronger and wiser. This resilience builds over time. With every difficult moment you push through, your confidence grows. You learn that imbalance is not the enemy. It's a sign that you're pushing boundaries and expanding your potential. Psychologists call this growth mindset. It's the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and persistence. People with a growth mindset don't wait for perfect balance. They embrace imbalance because it means they are learning and improving. To adopt this mindset, start by acknowledging your priorities clearly. Decide what matters most and dedicate yourself to it fully, even if it means imbalance. Accept the discomfort as part of the process. Remind yourself that every great achievement was born from focused effort and sacrifice. When you commit fully, your energy aligns. You become unstoppable. This is the power that balance can't give you, the power to change your life by changing yourself. Commitment transforms the way you see obstacles. Instead of viewing them as reasons to stop or seek balance, you see them as challenges to overcome. This mindset shift is crucial because it changes your entire approach to growth. You move from avoidance to action. When balance is your excuse, setbacks feel like failure. You get discouraged, lose motivation, and drift away from your goals. But when commitment drives you, setbacks become lessons. Each challenge is a stepping stone, a chance to grow stronger and wiser. This resilience builds over time. With every difficult moment you push through, your confidence grows. You learn that imbalance is not the enemy. It's a sign that you're pushing boundaries and expanding your potential. Psychologists call this growth mindset. It's the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and persistence. People with a growth mindset don't wait for perfect balance. They embrace imbalance because it means they are learning and improving. To adopt this mindset, start by acknowledging your priorities clearly. Decide what matters most and dedicate yourself to it fully, even if it means imbalance. Accept the discomfort as part of the process. Remind yourself that every great achievement was born from focused effort and sacrifice. When you commit fully, your energy aligns. You become unstoppable. This is the power that balance can't give you. The power to change your life by changing yourself. Choosing commitment over balance means accepting that progress often comes with discomfort. You might feel overwhelmed, exhausted, or even guilty for neglecting some parts of your life temporarily. But this discomfort is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's proof that you're pushing your limits and growing beyond them. Human psychology shows us that growth happens outside of comfort zones. When you stick to balance, you stay inside what feels safe and familiar. But when you commit fully, you step into the unknown, and it's there, beyond the safety net of balance, where true transformation takes place. This transformation requires patience and persistence. It means understanding that imbalance is not permanent. It's a phase, a necessary stage on the road to success. Eventually, the sacrifices you make today create new opportunities for balance tomorrow, but only if you commit fully now. The choice is yours. Remain stuck in the illusion of balance or embrace the reality of commitment. One path leads to safety but small results. The other leads to risk, sacrifice, and the chance to build something extraordinary. Remember, balance might sound comfortable, but it often means settling for less. Commitment might feel uncomfortable, but it leads to greatness. The difference is clear. Choose commitment, and you choose a life of purpose, passion, and progress. When you commit fully, you start to see the bigger picture. You realize that imbalance is a necessary part of creating something meaningful. Just like a seed must break through the dirt and face the harsh sun before it can grow into a strong tree, you must endure discomfort before reaching your full potential. This understanding frees you from the guilt and frustration that come with trying to maintain perfect balance. Instead of feeling torn between competing demands, you focus on what truly matters in this moment. You become intentional with your time and energy, knowing that temporary sacrifice is the price of lasting success. Psychology also reveals that people who accept imbalance and push through discomfort tend to be more resilient and mentally strong. Their brains adapt to handle stress better, which prepares them for even bigger challenges. This cycle of challenge and adaptation is what builds greatness. So don't fear imbalance or try to avoid it. Welcome it as a sign that you're on the right path. Let it motivate you to keep going when things feel hard or unfair. Because in that struggle lies the secret to achieving what most people only dream about. Commitment is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about choosing your purpose over comfort, day after day, even when the scales tip heavily in one direction. And that choice will change your life forever. When you choose commitment, you understand that success is not a straight line. It's a journey filled with ups and downs, with periods of intense focus and times of adjustment. Balance is an ideal, but rarely the reality, and that's okay. Real growth happens in the moments when you push past balance and embrace the chaos. This acceptance changes your relationship with struggle. Instead of fearing difficulty or seeing it as a sign to slow down, you recognize struggle as a signal that you're moving forward. It means you're challenging yourself, expanding your limits, and creating new possibilities. The human brain is wired to seek rewards, but those rewards come after effort, not before. Commitment means putting in the work first and trusting that the results will follow. It means being patient, persistent, and focused, even when the outcome isn't immediate or certain. Many people give up because they expect balance to feel comfortable. But comfort and growth rarely coexist. If you want to break through to something greater, you must embrace discomfort. You must accept that imbalance is a necessary step on the path to success. So when life feels out of balance, don't panic. Instead, see it as a sign that you're growing. Lean into the challenge, hold fast to your commitment, and remember that every great achievement requires stepping beyond comfort and balance. This mindset will empower you to keep going, no matter what stands in your way. The truth is, balance is often used as a shield, a way to protect yourself from taking risks or facing hard truths. It sounds responsible and mature, but deep down, it's a way to stay safe and avoid discomfort. And while safety feels good in the moment, it rarely leads to the life you truly want. Commitment, on the other hand, asks you to be bold. It asks you to put your dreams above comfort and stability. It demands that you take actions that may feel uncertain or difficult, but that move you closer to your goals. Psychology shows that people who embrace commitment over comfort develop stronger self-control and better focus. They learn to delay gratification and invest energy in things that matter most. This investment pays off exponentially over time. So, if you find yourself using balance as an excuse, pause and reflect. Are you protecting your comfort zone, or are you truly aligning with your purpose? Are you willing to face imbalance, uncertainty, and sacrifice to achieve your dreams? The path to success is rarely smooth or balanced. It requires courage, persistence, and the willingness to stand firm when life feels chaotic. By choosing commitment over balance, you unlock your true potential and create a life of impact and fulfillment. Remember, it's not balance that leads to greatness, it's commitment. And that commitment begins with a decision to act, regardless of how unbalanced things may feel. Commitment is the foundation of every great achievement. It's what fuels the relentless drive to keep going, even when the world seems out of sync. When you commit, you're no longer a passive observer waiting for balance to arrive. You become an active creator of your future. This shift in mindset rewires how you approach challenges. Instead of asking, "Is this balanced?" you start asking, "Is this moving me forward?" This simple question changes everything. It pushes you to prioritize what truly matters and let go of distractions and excuses. Human psychology teaches us that clarity of purpose strengthens motivation. When you know why you're doing something, imbalance becomes easier to endure. Your focus sharpens, your energy aligns, and your resilience grows. This is why commitment beats balance every time, because balance often feels like a safe compromise, but commitment demands clarity, focus, and action. So, when you feel the urge to seek balance as an excuse to avoid discomfort or risk, remind yourself of your purpose. Remember that your dreams are bigger than any temporary imbalance. Choose commitment. Choose to move forward with passion and persistence, no matter how unbalanced the path may seem. This is the mindset that turns ordinary lives into extraordinary ones, and it's the key to unlocking your greatest potential. You've reached a crucial realization: balance is often an illusion, a comforting story we tell ourselves to avoid the hard work of commitment. The truth is, success demands more than just equal distribution of time and effort. It requires fierce dedication, single-minded focus, and a willingness to embrace imbalance. This willingness is a mental shift that separates the achievers from the dreamers. Achievers understand that imbalance isn't chaos, it's concentration. It's the laser focus on what matters most, while everything else takes a back seat. This kind of commitment reshapes your mind, fuels your motivation, and builds resilience. Psychology confirms that deep commitment activates reward centers in the brain, reinforcing positive habits and perseverance. When your actions align with your core purpose, you create a cycle of motivation that propels you forward, even when external circumstances feel uncertain or out of balance. So, rather than waiting for life to feel balanced, decide today to commit fully to your vision. Accept that imbalance is part of the journey, not a barrier. By doing so, you take control of your destiny and open the door to growth, achievement, and fulfillment. Remember, the choice is yours. Cling to the illusion of balance, or embrace the power of commitment. The path may be challenging, but the rewards are worth every sacrifice. Choose commitment and watch your life transform in ways you never thought possible. When commitment becomes your guiding principle, you start to rewrite your story. Instead of being held back by the fear of imbalance, you see every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger. You begin to understand that the discomfort you feel is not a sign to quit, but a sign that you're moving beyond your limits. This mindset is what creates extraordinary lives. It's what fuels the drive of athletes who train relentlessly, entrepreneurs who work long hours, and artists who dedicate themselves fully to their craft. They don't wait for balance, they create their own rhythm through commitment. Science supports this approach. Studies show that people who embrace challenge and persist through discomfort develop greater mental toughness and long-term success. They learn to focus deeply, adapt quickly, and keep going when others give up. So, embrace the imbalance. Let it be a sign that you're on the right path. Commit to your goals with unwavering focus and passion. When you do, you'll discover strength you never knew you had and achieve things you once thought impossible. Commitment isn't easy, but it's the key that unlocks your true potential. Choose it today and step into the life you were meant to live. At the heart of commitment lies a simple truth. Progress requires action, often at the expense of comfort and balance. Waiting for perfect conditions or a balanced life is the enemy of achievement. The moment you accept this, you free yourself from excuses and hesitation. This acceptance empowers you to push through tough times, knowing that imbalance is temporary and necessary. It allows you to prioritize your dreams over fleeting pleasures. With every sacrifice, you build a foundation stronger than any temporary discomfort. Your mind adapts and grows with every challenge you face. The pain of imbalance sharpens your focus and fuels your determination. This psychological resilience becomes your greatest ally in the journey toward success. So, stop seeking balance as a shield. Instead, embrace commitment as your weapon. Let it drive you forward when others settle for less. Let it remind you that greatness is born in the space beyond comfort and ease. Commit fully, push hard, and accept imbalance as the cost of your dreams. This mindset will transform not only your goals, but your entire life. True commitment means choosing your path no matter how unbalanced it feels. It means accepting that the sacrifices and struggles are part of the process, not obstacles to avoid. When you make this choice, you take control of your life instead of letting fear or excuses hold you back. This choice shifts your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. You start seeing every challenge as a step forward rather than a setback. The imbalance no longer weighs you down, it propels you ahead. Psychologically, this is where transformation happens. Your brain begins to associate effort with reward, creating a powerful cycle of motivation and growth. The discomfort fades into the background as your purpose becomes clearer and stronger. Commitment demands that you be brave enough to face uncertainty, persistent enough to keep moving, and focused enough to stay on course. It asks you to choose growth over comfort every single day. So, embrace this imbalance. Let it be the fuel that drives your success. Because the life you want isn't built on balance, it's built on relentless commitment. And that commitment will carry you to heights you never thought possible. Commitment is not a one-time decision, it's a daily choice. Every morning you wake up and decide whether to pursue your goals with full focus or to retreat into the comfort of balance and ease. This small daily decision shapes the trajectory of your entire life. When you commit fully, you develop habits that support growth. You become disciplined in your actions and resilient in your mindset. You learn to prioritize your purpose above temporary distractions and discomfort. This process rewires your brain, making commitment your default response to challenges. Instead of seeking balance, you seek progress. Instead of avoiding discomfort, you embrace it as a sign of growth. Human psychology shows that the brain thrives on challenge when paired with clear purpose. The more you commit, the more motivated and energized you become. The imbalance you once feared becomes a source of strength. So make the choice to commit today, not just once, but every day. Let commitment guide your actions, fuel your persistence, and sharpen your focus. In doing so, you will create a life of purpose, achievement, and true fulfillment. As you continue to commit, you'll notice a shift in how you view time and effort. What once seemed like endless struggle becomes meaningful work. The sacrifices no longer feel like losses, but necessary steps toward something greater. This mindset rewires your brain's reward system. Each small victory, each moment of perseverance, releases chemicals that motivate you to keep going. The discomfort of imbalance transforms into the fuel that powers your journey. Understanding this change is key to staying motivated when the road gets tough. Remember, balance is not the enemy, but it should never be the goal that limits your ambition. Commitment pushes you beyond what feels comfortable and safe. By embracing commitment, you open the door to growth, resilience, and success. You learn that the price of achievement is temporary imbalance, and that price is worth paying. So keep pushing forward. Let commitment be your compass when balance feels out of reach. Your future self will thank you for the sacrifices you make today. At this point, the true power of commitment becomes clear. It reshapes your identity. When you consistently choose commitment over balance, you start to see yourself as someone who doesn't quit, who pushes through obstacles, and who refuses to settle. This new identity fuels a positive cycle. Your actions reinforce your beliefs, and your beliefs strengthen your actions. You become someone who naturally embraces challenges and turns imbalance into opportunity. Psychology calls this self-efficacy, the belief in your ability to succeed. High self-efficacy drives persistence and resilience, even in the face of setbacks. It's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. So, as you commit fully, know that you are also building your most powerful asset, a strong, confident self that can handle whatever comes your way. Commitment isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become, and who you become determines the life you create.